That's what you got teammates for. Kyocera with the redirect off the ceiling and now backboard up to it. And now a little bit of back and forth down bottom, and that's another double tap from Lethix.
Managed to bring it out, and now things are ending up in disaster here for Maris as one after another falls. It's gonna be that last-ditch effort from the sound barrier, but now with the tactical visor being used and activated, it is just a matter of time here. Brought into overtime as it ticks away. Army West Point gonna take this first round 100-0. Does not miss. The two characters who pop the ultimates, the two players are the ones who are gonna fall. What a recovery from Army West Point when the ultimates were in their face.
No shield on the side of Maris leaves an open lane for Stade Mole to all but secure Oasis for Army West Point. A 2-1 victory.
We'll see if they can. They're already going to have some difficulties with that execution, needing to use the Immortality Field with that artillery strike. A Bone has all of this overhealing, all of the targets, all of the amplification matrix, and Maris is going to have map 2, King's Row.
A finish, and oh no, the Transcendence isn't there in time to save GG Dax. It's all gonna come down to this overclock from a Bone. Finds two, finds another. It's just Rock on the point with a sliver of health. The overtime wick burns away incredibly fast, and from one Sojourn clutch to another, Maris holds on. Army West Point fails to complete circuit.
Being pushed back little bit by little bit, Army West Point is going to suffer a loss though. GG Dax. There we go. Signs of life from this tank. They're going through the Jungle Queen. Big rock has to be used, has to be expended. But a Bone, if they're alive, if they're still looking for it, they're still gonna get the big.
They've lost people.
They need, but they're still losing. Army West Point is not out of this just yet, and Maris has fallen. Army West Point has done it, but dividing. What a final fight that was. What a final map that was.
The trade still continue from SNHU. Seikuo now gonna have to clutch for the squad. And the drop on down right onto the Phoenix, expecting the Omen to swing. Low HP, and Seikuo does it again.
Window of Seikuo will push out, but we know that the patience is what they're known for. And I think they heard them. A literal misstep could cost them the round here now that the run it back has been shut out on the B side as well. Suddenly a 4v1, only the Deagle Demon. Lonely themselves remains, and they're pinched.
2 kills at a potato, and Suka Spike going down very momentarily, and it's gonna be a 2 versus 3 retake, and Suka still has that Hunter's Fury.
And this time no hesitation though from CSI. Not able to clear the corner though, and just as fast as the retake attempt starts, it is ended. The Rolling Thunder, but Blitz is not gonna respect it. Able to take Shattered away before waiting for the rest of their team, and it's Lonnie to go nuclear in less than a second. What just happened? And they're separated, and one is thrashed. All eyes are going to be on Potato here, and they are gone. And it's a 4K from Brantham to send us to Ascent, to send us to our map 3. None of that is coming, so Ken is fighting alone here. Finally, Lonnie realizes and is going to try and supply some support from Tree, but ultimately that's not even working. Look where Case is versus Ken. Oh my god.
Ken's gonna see it. Ken's gonna get 2! And the Blade Storm's ready to rip and tear through this round. A fancy shot, some dashing over to Seikuo, and
for one now, suddenly not. Lonnie, like we said, left to step up, but the double players coming through. They're out of bullets on both sides. And 16 HP, Suka versus Lonnie, who has full HP after that fight. Shock Dart will help at least, and it'll even get them to finish across the line. And that is a third of the round, and Suka being another hero player on SNHU's side to pull them ahead and win them a second pistol in the series.
what?
Yeah, it's Ring Around Rosie on Dice. And I feel like they might have the timing right here. Oh,
Seikuo's gonna peek out. So quiet. Paranoia. Brantham against the world. 9 seconds left. Has to plant the spike. Door's gonna be down, but the lockdown is gonna make this one so hard to win. Blitz is on site, and SNHU put it away for week number 1.
But yeah, I'm just surprised that the Swain didn't end up moving a little bit sooner. His now, Jana, no flash.
Heal, flash, auto attack, first blood. Froggy is the one to pick that one up, and Evelyn Bot is in the area. Descent does drop the Rift Guard. They're going to look to engage. It's going to be a Cataclysm getting dropped down, but Vagar got pulled into the Cataclysm, which could be trouble.
Ooh.
Down goes Evelyn Bot. Down goes the Vagar as well. Hugs Descent and the support on the one side, but they're going to be the ones to get engaged on. Ultimate coming off for the Malphite onto the Vagar, but the Vagar is still okay for right now. He's going to try to flash the rest of his team as Evelyn Bot is on the look. The Caitlyn was left all alone on the backside, and no free hugs is now left all alone with everybody else from Farmingdale.
That's game!
Both of them are level 4. No Zillion bombs are available right now, which means French Delta Force is going to be able to get in. There's the flash, but the flag and drag lands, and El Unicornio in a lot of trouble. French Delta Force not able to get the kill. That one's going to go over to Huracan. Vagar
he's
doesn't
dead.
quite know where he is. Has spotted him out. Here comes the Jarvan over the wall. Multiple members over the wall now as they're trying to get as much damage as possible. French Delta Force able to get the first kill. Now, bearing down on to the Xayah. They are going to get revived by the Zillion, but weak side. It just means they're a sitting duck to give more kills.
There's nothing. Yeah,
Here
they
comes the
quite
ultimate.
literally.
Malphite getting in there on multiple members here. Weak side is now starting to join the fight here. Somebody's in stasis, somebody's resurrecting, but it doesn't just matter. They're just all meant to die to Vagar. It's a double kill for weak side, a double kill for French Delta Force. They get a kill back.
Leave the old man alone!
But they are going to be able to close out onto the Zillion. The cherry on top for Froggy and Farmingdale State College.
Holding on to this stock at 160.
Oh yeah, both of these guys is decently heavyweight. Gonna be seeing very large percentages. And the back ear from Matt Fat managing to take it right there.
I see it too. Oh, good forward air tipper there. Hope should be able to recover from this unless you get countered. Dags with a huge opener there.
But Splat says, listen, I need you to get right back off stage. It's nice that you want to get here. You gotta go.
And the block, I think, actually helps Splat there. Again, falling because the second hit of that.
I didn't get to show out last time the way I wanted to. But I'll do it.
He's all warmed up now, but he will drop that stock this time around. Gordo up tilt, a week where they went to set number 3 and fell in that previous series.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a down here. Instead, you can kind of slowly build up damage, and then your armored move will not connect to all the hits, so you won't get the kill. And then you die. Tries to go for a very early up B kill right there. And your shield looks like a Skittle, and that will be it. The force match should be able to take it and hope with the JV3 against Splat.
That I think if you can use Milkman to shut down a B rush, you're pretty happy with that, especially if they're rushing right in. Mental Athlete catches 2, looking for more. Chris will not be outdone. Make it 3 for Mental Athlete. Yeah, that was more. You're more than happy with that trade.
And that means no KJ utility either, no extra
No.
peaks. And there's a quick trade down. Hookah wins between the Omens. It's Umbo and uh-oh for Mars Hill, as that's gonna be a Brooklyn College first map win. Players, just one shot left. Probably 30 HP combined as Noodle gets traded. It's all up to Chris. Headshot necessary for Excite as he's trying to dance around the side. Doesn't know where he's coming from. And Chris just barely secures it. I think 1 more second of stalling.
Yeah.
And that's a Mars Hill round, so absolutely brutal. The concussion come through. Flashpoints as well. This is an all-out brawl.
So much
for
utility.
ramp coverage. And everyone's here, and it's all looking good for Brooklyn, maintaining that weapons advantage, just rushing on in, and that's a flawless.
Welcome on in, everybody, to the ECAC Fall 2023 Contenders. My name is Pyro J. I'm here with Visionary 1, my main man here on the Esports U broadcast. Visionary, 2 undefeated teams to take the stage here in this Rocket League action. I'm happy you're by my side for it.
I'm always here for a solid cast with Pyro J. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, Pyro J _. You know what I mean? Oh. Go follow that man. He's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, we have University of Albany and Florida International University coming in today, both undefeated in league play so far. Definitely excited to see what these two teams bring. Obviously, you know, I've heard of Albany, you know, kind of making waves, getting really close to those CRL qualifiers. FIU, kind of a bit of a dark horse. I really haven't heard much about this team, Pyro. I don't know if you're more educated than I am on this topic, but you come in undefeated, pretty big feat.
Well, here's the other thing, too. It's still a little early on, right? Florida International University, they've got 3 wins under their belt, just 2 here for the University of Albany. But my focus is on FIU as well, right? I don't know as much about this team either. And to my records, they haven't lost many games in their matches that they won. So one of these teams has to go down. That's the way this works. And this is the spicy, good action that you asked for, Visionary 1, early on in the series. Like, you can't stay undefeated forever.
I mean, you potentially can, but one of these
Not
teams...
Not everyone can.
The run is going to end tonight. So definitely excited to see what these two teams bring, of course, with this exciting collegiate matchup right here. FIU and, of course, University of Albany getting underway. Into the lower right post, and we already have a 1-goal game and 3 seconds, Pyro?
Yeah, yep, 3 seconds. One way certainly to set the tone. I guess we'll have to keep our eye out on these kickoff shenanigans, maybe adaptations needing to be taking place already off the get-go in game 1.
Well, I will commend FIU right here. You know, you didn't give up a kickoff goal on the second one, so already improvement coming out. Is this going to be over the top? Is Zernite going to actually have a chance? It's not going to be there. Is Expire going to play it over the top of 1? And now I kind of expect to see that kind of settling, that jockeying of position in the midfield. That is a very strong pinch that Expired can't catch up to. That's actually a double commit on the other side as well, so it's going to be a counterattack potential for FIU right now, and a big pitch going to get it clear but not get them out of the woods.
You got a pinch here, pinch there. This is part of what I love about Rocket League is you've got to have a magnifying glass on every little play because the ball can go from 0 miles per hour to 100 in the blink of an eye, just as that save is barely made by Casino. The defense of FIU being tested almost at every level.
I mean, it's being tested, but so far, minus the kickoff, they've held on strong, and that's a great center pass. Unfortunately, not going to be able to be taken advantage of, and Isaac is giving up a ton of space in the midfield, but luckily enough, that's reciprocated as well by UA, and it's going to allow this ball to be in the blue half for maybe the first extended stay we've seen so far, as Juman Jitters doesn't have a lot of boost here, not able to get that challenge falling onto it. As Floto is going to have a lot of boost to work with, but not a lot of time as the challenge comes over the top. And Zernite going to be here, 50-50, going to be dead even once again. We're seeing this midfield is jockeying for possession right now. Nobody's really able to get that foothold to get that extremely dangerous shot on target just yet.
I mean, camp starts to get set up, right? You can see them pitching their 10 FIU on that first possession, but you could see just a 1 gust blow of wind to topple it over, right? They were unable to gather all the resources they need. Their possession kind of petered out once they needed to go back for boost, but I think a pad's worth of boost was all it took here for Zernite to smash this through.
That's an absolute banger and a better 50 by Casino right there. Just being able to get that to the midfield, knowing that you have a teammate there and just lofting it. And the defensive rotation just non-existent right there for UA. Nobody covering that back post. Heck, nobody was even in the goal to really defend that one, especially at 75 miles an hour, Pyro. It's fine in the back of the net regardless.
Yeah, where's that endurance from the defense of UA? It finally started to break down, and FIU off of those little magical moments can make that first goal work and are hoping for more. Zernite, solid clear, couldn't follow it up with that second touch that could have been crucial for a quick counter. And it's Zernite again, allowing Casino to take this up the walls, smash up the ceiling. Zernite just misses that. Was clinical on the earlier shot, but that missed touch puts everything into disarray. The flick past 1, almost 2. Casino saves the day.
Kazinja there, and the patience of Zernite not to just dive in front of that one, but a team bomb might mess some of this up. Also, Demo coming back from Floto is going to just completely wreck the defensive rotation right now. Is Zernite going to do a good job diving in front, kind of making up for that mistake that they had earlier, but out of boost. This is going to be towards the midfield again. Kazinja going to be there. Resources currently, though, running low for FIU. This is going to be very difficult for them to deal with, especially when you're not being able to make clears off the backboard, and Juman Jitters going to put the University of Albany up 1.
I mean, unless we saw a long clear come out from FIU, which I think Zernite was searching for on that touch, they were never going to come up with anything. It was going to be damage to the back of their net. Zernite's been missing a couple of these first touches. I think Zernite's going for these very risky plays where they just get the tip of the ball and it executes on some serious power, but when you just miss it, it can be that much of a punishment against your team.
Yeah, I could say it could be detrimental to the success of your team whenever you're trying to make those picture-perfect touches. And I mean, Pyro, we're all guilty of it. You know, you get a setup and you're looking at it and it's juicy, and instead of going for the smart play and the safe play, you go for the superstar plays. That's actually passed up to the front. Isaac's going to get caught out on this one. Another double commit. Much panic defense coming out, but it's going to be shot directly at Kazinja. And a great frontside demo to free up some space, and Kazinja is going to be able to get another touch. That's a magnificent job. The double commit from FIU almost being disastrous, and somehow, some way, it's going to fall through. Another double commit for UA this time on the defensive end. Means they're not out of the woods yet either. Pass over the top, going to be slotted in. Zernite making up for that mistake and ties the game up 2-2. And these defensive panic touches are leading to good offensive opportunities for both teams.
Indeed they are. FIU, what a comeback here. They were able to take out the shot taker where it looked like the red carpet was rolled out in front of them, but one broken heel later and it's a quick counter against them. Minute to go here after FIU tie it up.
FIU is just doing a really good job. This is a great touch right here. A little musty flick off the ceiling. Not able to get enough juice on that one. The sauce was missing on that burger, unfortunately. Not able to find the back of the net with it, but good touch nonetheless, as Isaac's going to win a 50 here towards the midfield. It's going to be a whifty right in front of the box. Nobody's going to dive on it. Kazinja is just going to be a nuisance to society and continue to push this one down.
Panicky here, Visionary. Who's got the composure in the final minute? Because we're still seeing these missed touches come to form, but an air dribble from Expired sets up Floto, which is cut off by Zernite. Isaac wants to take this all the way to the hole. It's just missed. The second touch is going to be out as well, but Kazinja there again.
And you said who has the composure? It's still a little sketchy. Zernite trying to get that bump with no boost. Isaac's not able to get the angle on it, and luckily enough, by the tip of the Finnick, Kazinja is able to beat out the entirety of the UA defense and put them up 1 with 28 seconds to go. But Pyro, with how volatile this game has been, I would not be surprised to see another goal the other way and have an overtime here.
Yeah, hold on to your horses here. Floto's working for it, as is Juman Jitters, who's all the way on the other end trying to bump out Kazinja, but he evades the bump, gets the clear, has the next touch, putting in so much work today is Kazinja on the finishing factor and the turnarounds. Everything's been crystal clear from this player to secure the win just about. For FIU, they just got to put this ball on the ground with 0 boost. Zernite tries. One pop keeps it alive, but it finally falls to the ground. FIU in a comeback scenario win game 1.
I mean, just kind of a wild game. And typically, Pyro, we're sitting here, we see game 1s are a little bit more conservative, a little bit more defensive rotation minded. All we saw this game was panic defense, and this game 1 of the best of 7, right? So I expect both these teams to get a little bit more settled. As you can see on the board, shot total is just about even. I would assume the possession was just about even as well. We kind of saw those 30-second lapses of just the team having the possession, going off the backboard, not a lot of midfield passing, so not really a lot of scoring opportunities off of those shots. I expect to see that expand just a little bit as we get deeper in this series.
I think so too. I mean, this was panicky, as I said earlier, right? Teams trying to really find their footing as the game went on, but it got a little more loose as it went. So here's a chance to take a breath, to reset, and get back in this next game. It's a long series here at a best of 7, but I'd say if anybody really has grounded themselves, it is Kazinja. Had goal participation at 75%, had 4 of the 5 saves for the team as well. This player clearly was in the scrimming, in the practice sessions, playing some rank, doing some kind of training rep before this match, because Kazinja was ready from the get-go.
He was definitely ready. Man ate his Wheaties this morning. That's all I can say about that. It's that simple. He came ready to play today. He was able to kind of just be that rock that FIU needed to really close out that game, and I'm excited to see what he can do. In this game number 2, obviously UA going to be trying to claw their way back into this series. Noting it's a best of 7 though, Pyro. You know, game 2 not as pivotal as it typically is. That's a phenomenal touch, but Kazino's not able to find it through Floto. You have a little bit of breathing room right here for UA.
Yeah, Casino's just reminding UA that the venom is still there. It's a sting of a touch every time this player's behind the ball. That second read up the sidewall, even getting in front of that with 0 boost and a dodge is just that presence. It's always known by Casino. You're right to say game 1 isn't as destructive. That first goal certainly could have been. UA had it last game, searching for it here in game 2, but just a miss on that effort.
And just a miss, but UA is going to be able to claw this one back. Jimon Jitter's actually going to drop down past this. It's beautiful, and it's a goal for UA. And Pyro, I love it when teams get creative like this. You can absolutely take the shot, but realizes that that backboard is probably going to be covered. The bump onto Zernite as well after dropping it down for a teammate. It doesn't get much better than that.
It's all about that real-time decision-making. Juman Jitters was the initial leap perfect to get the shot. I don't even know if that was an option, but it's all about doing those mid-game calculations and getting it as the best, most efficient play for your team. The drop down was exactly what UA needed to get this first goal. That is way more decisive, by the way, of a goal than game 1 was, where they got it right up the rip on the kickoff.
But that is a defensive double commit right there, as Isaac not able to get the touch. Casino, they're going to be able to play it over the top. It's not going to be there, and Isaac's not going to be able to have the read. And while all of this pressure has been here for FIU multiple times, they have not been able to put the dagger into the coffin to finish this off, as Juman Jitters going to try to get that one out of the way and just gets punished and bullied out of the way by FIU for even thinking about trying to get that ball in their net. As Floto not going to have the best touch here, just trying to bail out. 3 people on the front post, bumps all around, and somehow, some way, this ball does not end up in the back of the net. And honestly, UA getting bailed out right there by just a lack of placement on the shot.
Where's the punishment? Where is it? Somebody's got to deliver the final blow there. If you see all 3 defenders bunched up together, somebody wrestle them out and find the final shot. Speaking of which, it's going to be for UA instead. Absent in the key moments here in game 2 or FIU.
I'm just a little bit confused about that one right there. I mean, obviously, you don't expect the 50-50 to go that violently into, you know, your backboard, but still to have 2 people jump at that ball and not be able to make contact is a little bit surprising. You know, this is pretty high-level college Rocket League. We are sitting on 2 teams that are undefeated, and after FIU is able to claw their way back into the game, as that's a great back pass right there, but the counterattack opportunity alive. But again, the shooting accuracy woes are going to continue for FIU, Pyro.
Well, here's a breath of life, almost. That shot would have done it. Zernite trying to continue this advantage with the demolition. Casino with the ball behind them. Zernite shot there. Floto reads it perfectly. Defense appearing as if it's a masterclass at this point from UA. They've stopped so many hard pushes, so many crashing of the boards here, but there's no rebound needed for the long ball shot of Zernite. The first one finally in for FIU.
Yeah, all I can say about this one, Pyro, is from downtown. Just a misread from 2 players. Just not expecting a shot to be on net at that point. And hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I'm not going to fully blame those 2 defenders as well. Their teammate who was lunging towards the ball, I think, dodged right when the ball was right in front of them. So it's that trust that you have in the players that usually works out, but there are those key moments where it can all break apart into smithereens now as the defense crumbled away for UA.
Yeah, and honestly, you have to respect that touch from Casino right there. It's just that simple. He has already shown that they can make those dangerous touches and those double touches, those backboard reads onto net. That's the one where I actually see, like, yeah, you got to respect that touch. Ends up kind of breaking the defense once again, but the way this is turned again, like FIU was basically looking like dire straits. The shooting accuracy was all gone. Not to say that they didn't have any pressure, Pyro, but they've been able to flip this onto its head in just, what, about 30 seconds total with the 2 goals that were scored?
I mean, momentum certainly in their favor, and they can capitalize on here with a 3rd goal, but if you want to call it how you see it on the scoreboard, 90 seconds, game is tied. So there's still a chance for UA to come up alive and ahead. out of this game. They've got to make key saves, though, like that. Expired off of his teammate being demoed. Gets a save, but it's still not enough. Off that demolition, there have to be reinforcements in place. They just didn't get there in time.
It's just the defensive rotation is not exactly 100% there right now for UA, and they're really getting punished for it. And there was a lot of chances for FIU to do that earlier in this game too. They just didn't have the shooting accuracy, right? You're seeing them just be a little too far spaced out, playing a little too wide. And when you have a team that's playing as fast and confident as FIU is in this second half, and does it really matter? We have a tie game again.
Fair question. I mean, not the first time we saw UA score 3 seconds off the kickoff, right? I mean, they are opportune in these moments, and you know, I do feel a little biased towards Expired. He's rocking that Pittsburgh Steelers decal. Let's go, Steelers. Can I hear one shout out for the Berg, baby? Okay, I'm done. I got it out, Visionary. But it's a good equalizer, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, so we get one shout out for the Berg, and FIU takes offense and says, hey, have you seen what 2 is doing this season? We're scoring, and it's 4-3 right here. And that shot was about as fast as a Tyreek Hill scramble for a touchdown.
All right, okay, all right. I'll let you finish off that storyline there. I'm not going to hype up the Steelers too much. They've had their era. Expired. They need to turn this around. They need to do it quickly. Maybe with this maneuver from Isaac, it's not going to be as easy. It's clear now that UA, they're not going to get their kickoff chance to get this final tying goal, Visionary. So they've got to cook up something different.
It's going to be something different here. I think my thing right now is we're kind of seeing UA apply this lockdown, this pressure here, and the clears are not strong. Human Jitter's going to have an opportunity, going to play it out to the side. Nobody close enough to try to wrangle that pass in, but Expired doing a decent job right here. Another big miss. You have the opportunity to get it through, but Casino, of course, who else but Casino to be able to get that one away? And Juman Jitter's going to be played all the way back. They're going to have to start from square one with 15 seconds to go. Juman's going to go off the ceiling for this one. Casino directly to Expired. Zernite's going to be there with the touch. Going to be over to the side looking for 2. Not going to be able to find it, but Isaac's able to push this down. This is going to be tough sledding ahead, and a great 50 by Zernite to get this down in front. Expired actually going to hit it away from their teammate, but this is going to be dangerous. Off the backboard, can Juman make the read? He can! The 0-second equalizer to tie this up and put UA in an opportunity to be able to tie this series.
Unbelievable read there as well from Juman Jitters. Under the pressure, too. Has to get that shot on target to tie up the ball game at 0 seconds. Unbelievable that UA have a chance.
I love extracurricular activity in Rocket League. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The 0-second plays are always the best plays. To be able to get that all the way down the pitch and to be able to get a goal off of it as well is just such a hype moment. And props to UA for keeping the composure in that scenario. That read from Juman Jitters is really, really pivotal in a moment like that that's as big as that to keep kind of, you know, your chances alive. You don't want to be down 2-0 because then you're staring down the neck of a potential sweep. That's never fun to come back from.
Here's the thing, though. They could still be down 2-0. Yes, they got OT, but it's not going to matter unless they get that final goal. And I want to see them play like they're down 1 with 30 seconds to go again, because they just light up. Look at more shots. Rebounds on the backboard. Trying to get in front of the ball every which way they can. Expired guarding that half-court line and taking a shot as well. But Zernite has it taken down. Gets an extra 50-50. Casino bullies the ball through to the other side.
Oh, that's a great 50 to at least buy some space and some time for the defense to get back, though, because I don't know if you saw, Pyro, but all 3 members of UA were pushed up as this one's going to be just off target. Everybody on the front post here as well. Luckily, Floto's able to carry that one out and buy some more time. Not able to get the recovery here. Looking for a bump. Not going to be able to find it on Zernite. And we are back to back on the half side. There's going to be a great pass over to Isaac. It's going to be directly in the net. And Zernite did everything there. The big booming clear and the direct read afterwards.
Oh, the 0-second goal was good enough for some fanfare, but not good enough to change the output on the scoreboard. It is a second for FIU Florida International, trying to increase their 3-0 record to 4-0. And it's off the backs of all 3 of these players once again. I mean, to come back after having to play in overtime in that game when I think the defense looked fantastic for FIU in the final stretch of that minute, Visionary one, that's icy. That's icy for FIU.
Well, they're just able to hold their composure and know, hey, I mean, it's overtime. It's not a loss, right? At the end of the day, you're still fighting. It's a golden ghost situation, and Florida International was just able to take advantage of it. And Zernite popping off in a big way, going 2 goals and assist and 4 saves on the 10 shots that were made by University of Albany. So a phenomenal job right there by Zernite. Obviously, we've been singing the praises of Casino quite a bit, but Zernite really stepping up there in that overtime. We saw a lot of back and forth possession. I really want to see UA try to slow this game down just so they can tighten their rotations a bit, because they are still rotating extremely wide and leaving some gaps.
Yeah, whether it's the defense having nobody on the goal line after a demo, or it's everybody clustered together, I agree. Got to be a little more composure here. We'll see if that coordination comes through here. Game number 3 coming alive. And Zernite already on the ball, making these downward clears. Again, I want to mention this player who seems to be at the right place at the right time. We talked about in game 1 how they were going for some more risky maneuvers. It feels like since then, it's just been strong, coordinated plays coming out of that player.
It certainly has been, as this is over the top. Zernite not going to be able to make a read at all, but all that space just given up in the midfield going to allow Isaac to at least get a touch here, make it a second. Is Casino going to win this challenge out? Going to be able to land on the backboard here, look for a challenge, not going to find it. Demo, however, is going to be found. We've seen FIU continually rely on that for success.
Yeah, they can certainly open up those gaps like we've seen in the midfield already. Game number 3, Floto drops it down over for Expired, but Expired, even on the lunge, could not reach that ball. Didn't have the resources, didn't have the speed, maybe the positioning, but Expired, certainly a chance here on the high pop-up. It was read well by the FIU defense. Floto now with a 50-50 in the air. Maybe sets up an attacker after Casino's light clear, and Chuma Jitters off of the dodge is actually demoed away. They're only working with 2 players for UA, but they're able to still continue the pressure.
They are able to continue the pressure right now, and I love this. We haven't really seen the ball enter the blue half at all the entirety of this game. Expired going to have a double tap opportunity. You have the boost. Zernite dives out of nowhere. I didn't even see him on the screen, Pyro. He was able to get back to that. As Floto does a great job of just buying some time. Again, UA, those wide rotations might come back to bite them. Expired, luckily enough, there for now. Pre-jump from Juma, not going to be there. Double tap opportunity going to be just off target from Zernite there. But you notice him hitting it with the wheels, not going for the exact tip of the nose, not going for the extremely precise play, going for the smart play once again.
Smart plays are affording this close game right now to continue. They're not being punished off these little mistakes. And Casino, you don't want to see this player in this position. Grabs an extra flip on the ceiling, but didn't set the ball high enough to get that extra touch. Instead, it's Isaac who leaps up for the jump. Zernite's not able to get to the ball in time. And another attack that seems promising for FIU just fizzles out. That said, ball still set up for Expired, but taken away by Isaac. And that dunk set everything up for Casino.
I mean, it's an insane pre-jump right here, though. Look at that read. Noticing that ball's going to be going to the left side to try to hit a teammate, cutting off the passing lane, getting yourself a 1-goal lead. And FIU always kind of seems to just pull these out so far in this series, Pyro. It's like almost a reckless challenge, right? You're technically first in rotation, but you're wildly throwing yourself at this, and you find a way to get the win and just open up all that space for your team.
It comes down to trusting your own game sense, right? I mean, you almost train as an AI playing 3v3 after 3v3 after 3v3, and by the posturing of your opponents and the knowledge of the game, you know where the ball's gonna be. Almost Casino knowing exactly how to read the backboard. A couple backboard hits are gonna translate into another missed opportunity for FIU, where some precision would pay off a whole lot more immensely, but instead they've got to work back from the drawing board. Still a lead in their favor.
Still a lead and still another demo coming their way. And you know what? This is the first game where UA hasn't held a lead yet so far. So I'm definitely excited again to just see if they can actually bring this back and kind of have that ice that we've seen out of FIU. And this is going to be a big blast and clear down the pitch. But again, you're going to leave one back. Expired has to half flip out of this. And that is just another free long shot goal. And again, we talk about the wide rotations of Albany. Look at Floto going for boost in the opponent's corner, and Expired just kind of has a feels bad flip, and it is what it is at that point.
That felt like there's 15 seconds and we need to score. not there's a minute and 30 seconds and we need to score situation. A lot risked and no biscuit for their troubles. That said, Zernite, how about the flip reset play that Isaac wanted to clean up on? The defense came through quick enough, but that's not going to be the case that puts UA in a position where they can take this to another overtime. No, they've got to turn this around into the orange half, where they'd certainly like to spend more time.
I would certainly like to spend more time there, but again, they had two pushed up into the other half. You see, again, one isolated. Expired just trying to get back. Now, granted, it's a good touch off the backboard, but I just hate to see UA putting people in 1v2 situations on the defensive end. I understand you're chasing goals right now, but if you're not in a position to succeed offensively, there should be no reason for two people to be up. This is passed through the front. Expired's going to be able to find a way to get that one in, and finally the aggressive posturing pays off.
I mean, there's a position to succeed right there. And finally is generated for them. And Zernite has made some incredible goal line saves, but that one could get to it quick in enough time. That said, the goalie, it's in their favor. They could be on match point after this win in a long best of 7. That could certainly find some brevity with a win here.
Certainly could find some brevity. However, they have to stay in on this one. Zernite, you're not own goaling this suddenly, are you? As he drives that one back towards the backboard. A little bit dangerous, but able to get away with it and has complete control of it here. Gonna go for the air dribble, looking for Isaac. It's gonna be a huge double commit, though. Gonna really spread out the defense. Floato's gonna be beat. Juman Jitters doesn't have a touch. Here's Expired, able to get just a car on it. It doesn't really seem to matter, though. 12 seconds left. Possession firmly in the grasp of FIU to put them on match point right now as the shot is on. Juman Jitters. Oh no, that's a great effort avoiding the demo, being able to get a hand up, unfortunately not being able to keep it out of the net.
Talk about the payoff to putting immense power behind the ball. There was a hand up, but it certainly was not enough. Zernite operated so well near their opponent's backboard, just taking drive challenges, setting up those plays. That was nearly flawless from FIU to get them another goal, secure this win. They've got match point heading into this week's matchup of ECAC.
And Pyro, I know you said it was early. One of these teams couldn't leave, but I think FIU's kind of making a statement right now. Obviously, yeah. we've known Albany for a while, right? We've seen them a lot in ECAC. We've seen them in CRL quals. FIU is coming out firing, and I'm assuming they're just trying to let everybody know that they're here and they mean business. The Cougars are looking great.
Here's my thing about the FIU team is they get better and better every game that we go. My biggest issue with them in game 2 was like, well, I think we had 9 goals in that game. The final score was 5-4. This time they keep UA to just 1. Their defense really set up well. We mentioned those goal line saves from Zernite, but in truth, they didn't have to play a ton of defense. 2 saves from their team, and it's because they set up camp in their opponent's half. They had the pressure. They had the dominance. If UA can't break out of that, they're not going to break through to a game 5.
They're definitely not going to be able to break through to game 5 if they're locked down in their half the whole time. It's like a continuous killjoy ult, just nothing doing. You have to get out and dodge at some point, and they haven't been able to find that yet. And that's my mistake. I said the Cougars, it's a Panther. I should know better than that, but here we are. I'm out here making rookie mistakes, so I apologize. FIU, I'm out here trying to congratulate you for your play so far, and I'm messing up your mascot.
Hey, either way, paws are up, you know, so it will take that much. We're hoping as well that we get a good game 4 out of this one. UA, I mean, they forced overtimes through 0-second goals. They've had leads where they dominated in game number 1 that have just been let go. So many situations and opportunities where they come up big and then fall short. Can they turn it around here in this game? This would certainly start it off. Zernite again on the goal line, though. You want to talk about Killjoy? That's putting away a big potential tone setter for UA.
Oh, it was looking gorgeous, too, and unfortunately just not able. Again, the shooting accuracy for both these teams has been off at times, but that one has to go in. It's rattling around in the net, essentially, like halfway. You have to find a way. You have to commit that third. You are down 3 games of this series. Now is not the time to pull punches.
Throw them out, whether it's the uppercut or the left hook. It's got to be something here. Expired. Could it be the power shot from the other side of the field? Zernite doesn't want anything of it. Kicks it back up to the ceiling. Isaac in rotation. Able to get around 1 and 2/4 of a take there. A boost to get it all the way, but Expired does make the save. And how about these aerial flights from the midfield? Everybody's trying to generate a big play, but the ball just gets away from them.
Oh, and the ball got away from FIU right there, as it was a little bit of a defensive juggle in between two players that I'm almost positive was not intentional, as this is a great pass to the midfield, though. Isaac not going to have the read. Floto shooting the gap, but it's going to be a double commit, leaving the net wide open, and another mid-court shot coming in from the Panthers, just able to shovel it through here on a double commit on the defensive end.
I feel like we're playing volleyball a little bit here, Visionary One. There is massive open space in the midfield for that last minute of gameplay. Everybody able to generate either that aerial move, the midfield pass through all this space. And I mean, the more mechanically inclined team is going to dominate in that space. The speedier team as well. And tonight, that's been FIU.
Certainly has. The speedier team, the more mechanically inclined team, just the overall more solid in rotation team. But this is going to be tough sledding ahead, as Isaac does a great job of just cutting this one away. Zernite's going to get bumped off. That's going to be a free goal as well, coming back to the other side. UA just playing a little bully ball right here. Look at their streakers running down. It's all three of them just trying to get in front of any potential defender.
Man, I would hope if I'm coming up on my own backboard evading a demo that I finally released myself from the fury, but no, Zernite's still bumped up and hold on. Okay, FIU. How about that to put them right back in the driver's seat?
It's just a heavy cheat up right there from Isaac, and Floto just kind of turns off of it. In that situation, if you are going to heavy cheat, you have to challenge. You do not have a choice. Turning around is not the option because you're basically in no man's land. You throw a double jump, you throw a flip, you hope you get a touch. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen there as Floto's not able to get much. Zernite, that is a volatile pinch going the opposite way as Isaac tries to collect. A little bit of a team bump, going to send this to Casinho, who's going to be able to get one away. Shot on target. Oh my, expired. I don't know how you were able to get that touch to bail out your team, but it certainly works as the lockdown looking to start to occur from FIU once again.
Oh my, Zernite even tried for that late dodge, in and out redirect. That would have been something. Isaac's redirect to the top corner would have been something. And Isaac's been a little more quiet, more of a facilitator this match. That big moment, I feel like, is just on the horizon for this player. Almost off the crossbar. You can see how they're margins away from putting FIU in a great position.
You know, just about 3 Unreal units right there as Juman Jitters tries to take this 1v1 as Casinho once again just going to be that menace in the midfield to be able to dispossess this UA team who needs a goal, but they don't need to be in a situation like this. A great save by Floto, though. Some goal line heroics coming out on the double tap.
I don't understand how we haven't seen a goal from FIU. I may just hold my tongue here as Floto has to get right back to the back line. No boost to the tank, just misses that corner, and that could be all that it takes for them to lose the resources they need. A missed touch from FIU. Floto could have had a red carpet rollout down the Broadway Street, but gets demoed for their efforts. Floto pass out to expired. Broke it up well by Isaac. UA finally getting some chances here after they had to defend. Will it all be worth it?
The answer to that is, are they going to be able to get off of the backboard? The midfield pass, I feel, with the double commits that we're seeing is going to be dangerous. But right now, just straight pot shots are not going to do it through this FIU defense. They're starting to rotate a little bit better. So one is beat out there. They're starting from square one on the offensive end. Inspire's not able to collect that. And FIU is going to put themselves up 2 with 45 to go. And it's not over, but I'm going to pull a page out of the Mythbusters book. It's probably not, it's plausible, but it's most likely not possible.
Yeah, that's how it feels, especially with the momentum behind FIU. That's tough from Expired as well on that play. As soon as you see yourself rotating ball side, you know you're in trouble. It's so difficult to take control of that ball, especially in this scenario as well. Barely taken away by Casinho. Zernite able to intercept the shot as well from UA. UA giving it all that they have. Floto in position to take a shot. That's gonna go wide. They're giving it everything they can. So many takes up the backboard. The follow-up shot again off target. It's just not enough.
Oh, everything in the kitchen sink has been thrown Pyro, and they're not able to find it. As this one is going to find the back of the net. I thought for certain that was going to be a save on the backflip in the net there. Floto just having to pre-jump respect Zernite's positioning, not able to. Juman Jitters, that boost there just pushed him a little bit too far back and not able to get the save. And with 13 seconds left, technically it's possible for UA to win in regulation because we've seen like 4 3-second goals in this entire series, but the kickoff going that direction means it's probably not feasible.
Doesn't look like it whatsoever, folks. We could say for sure it wasn't lack for trying there and the flurry of shots that we saw from UA in this final minute of game number 4. But one thing's for certain, this match is over. FIU, Florida International University, continue their undefeated streak in the ECAC Fall 2023 contenders.
Straight sweep too. I mean, props to FIU. You said it in the beginning of the broadcast as well. You said they have not dropped many games so far this season. Well, there's a clean sweep over a team that was 2-0, previously undefeated. They're going to fall to FIU here. And Zernite, Kazinho, just everybody doing really solid work, honestly, Pyro. They didn't really extend themselves too far. Obviously, the first game jitters were there. A lot of panic defense. After that, they kind of reined it in. They were able to take advantage of the opportunities that UA gave to them.
Yeah, we mentioned Zernite and Kazinho so much. Kazinho was really the tone setter for this team to do almost everything in game 1. Zernite certainly was the consistent force to, especially on defense, make some critical saves. But Isaac popped up big in game number 4. I think he had a hat trick in terms of their 4 goals they had in that game. Great effort from all 3 players. This is a team now who, I checked the records, after that sweep against UA, only have dropped 1 game now in it looks like 3 technical matches that they played. It's going to be their 4th win since I think they've got in a forfeit win earlier in October this month. But great from FIU, Visionary One. The thing that we all need to know is put this team on the bulletin board, because with that kind of record, with that kind of showing, this is a team that everybody has their eyes on.
I mean, they absolutely should. And I'm really excited to see what this team can potentially do beyond this right now. I mean, you come out, Albany has always kind of been in contention in that East, right? They haven't been crazy as far as a powerhouse. They're not Northwood. No offense, of course, to Albany, but they've always been in the conversation. And to have FIU come out like that, I'm excited to see what they can do in the future, not only here at ECAC, but elsewhere in the Collegiate Rockets League space as well.
I'm excited as well. Hey, shout out to UA still for putting up a fight here, Visionary One. There's no lie that we expected as we saw this game go on and on, especially in game 2, that 0-second goal that sent it to overtime, that we could really go the distance. But in this case, that's not going to be it. A clean sweep there for FIU as they move on with their undefeated streak. Folks, we're not done here, though, with the ECAC action. As myself, Pirate J, and Visionary One wrap up the Rocket League action, we're actually taking it to Overwatch next. It's the University of Central Missouri versus St. Joseph's University next year on the Esports U broadcast.
Not only that,